Somebody know.
Joel Santana and Kimbella got engaged.
Yep.
And I don't know how I feel about that. Jay Black told me earlier, if you're gonna talk about Kimbella and Joel Santana, then you gotta talk about Miguel and his girlfriend because they got engaged or did they get married after 10 years? They got married after 10 years.
And my thing too, what we was just talking about with the money. I watched the Love and Hip Hop, the first episode, and Kimbella was talking about how she had to go through all this shit. If Joel's was a regular nigga with regular money, she wouldn't have dealt with that.
Right. I think she would have.
Nah.
Yeah, we already know the truth. We already know the truth.
She wouldn't have dealt with that.
I mean, they have 3 kids. Okay, so here's the difference for me. So the question has been asked all week: would you wait 10 years of dating somebody to marry them?
And I think that's another problem too, that we letting the outside world decide what our relationship is.
But how many years?
Like why do that matter? Like if we together and if my lady happy, like if you happy with your spouse, if we happy together, it might not be the time for us to get married. But shit, we might get married 15 years down the line. But
what is the wrong with just getting married? What are you waiting for?
What's wrong with not getting married?
Things happen and you need to be married. Like, for example, somebody dies or somebody gets hospitalized and you've been living with this person for so long. Yeah. And when you get to the hospital, they're going to be like, who are you? You can't make no decisions because guess why? You're not married. Just like for Kimbella on the show. The dude got arrested. He got sentenced to house arrest. They couldn't even send him home with his girlfriend and his kids because they weren't married. They sent him to his mother's house.
Right.
She can go get him from his mother's house. But look, the institution of marriage is dead. That is all.
And I think
it kind of is though.
Even like Kim, you might be thinking like that, but I don't think women are thinking like, I want to marry him so I can be able to make the decision when he died. They're not thinking like that. They thinking like, I want to get married because all my friends get married.
And then I can post it on Instagram too.
I grew up. It's always been a dream. We've been seeing this on these Disney movies our whole life.
That's
this
real.
Is the dream. This is what I want to do.
Princess shining armor.
Is for the woman.
Yeah, or your knight is shining armor.
That ceremony is for the woman.
Yep.
Every girl childhood movie was Cinderella. That's
true.
Yes, absolutely. So
that's
we
true.
deserve that. And the reason why the time and the reason why the time
she said we deserve that.
Yes.
Talk to us, Kim. Why?
And the reason why the time comes into play is because, like I always say, women have a biological clock. There are certain times in our lives that we could bear children. There are certain times in our lives that
they got kids. Joel's and Kimbella got kids, so that's not a problem.
That's even more of a reason why they need to be married, so they can have a solid foundation for those children. Why am I going to your children's school talking about my boyfriend and the kid is in 3rd grade? Why am I not saying my husband? That don't even look right.
Cinderella came out in the 50s. I'm just throwing shit out there.
You need to go back somewhere.
It's
don't
2018
put that out there.
And people don't ever fully trust the next person. So that's why trust is evolved in that marriage. We need to build
solid foundations. We need to build solid families. We need to have the same thing everybody else has.
I'm with you in the perfect world.
Yeah. He said in the perfect world. Yeah, that's true.
Like I agree with where you coming from, but I'm just saying women are not thinking like that
at all.
So you think that women want to get married for the wrong reasons?
Not the wrong reason, but they're not thinking because of the reasons that you
that I just put out there.
That you need to be married. Like shit, they like, for the American dream or the the right world. Yeah, they doing it for the Cinderella story.
Divorce rates have skyrocketed.
Yeah, it's at an all-time high.
No, they went down since like the 90s.
So what?
It's a lot of divorces now though. Like
those are not facts.
Like all my friends I know, their parents are divorced. Like for real.
For real. I'm talking after like 15, 20 years type. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just a new era going on. Like marriages last as long as football careers, which is like
it's like a breakup. Like it's not even like a marriage no more. Like it's just like we just broke up.
Now your money tied up.
And it is what it is. Yeah.
Marriage is like the new boyfriend girl.
That's exactly what it is. Like we'll be married for about 2 years, 3 years.
Get married forever. But this is not cool that all these men are thinking like that.
No, because it's facts though.
Listen, I'm all about.
He said, "Yeah, hit the mic." He said, He said, "That's enough."
For my shorty, for my wife, I'm gonna give her that if I feel like, you feel me. I'm not trying to.
If she deserve it,
for the woman at all.
Yeah.
Like, but let's do it for the right.
That's
reason.
not cool. I'm very disappointed in y'all.
Hey, my name is Patrick.
I mean,
Hi,
basically,
Patrick.
That's
a
my
lot
middle
of dudes
name.
looking at it like this because basically we see how the women think, and then women take a lot of advice from places that aren't good places
Like
to
television.
take, or social media.
Single best
mostly.
friends.
And then
But what are you
single best
saying?
friends.
What does that have to do with a woman that wants to get married?
Because that in her want to get married, she's looking at it.
It's not for the
all
right
wrong
reasons. There you go.
And
Not all of us.
No, but he's saying, yeah, but he's saying it's a good
as far
number.
as majority goes,
It's a good number.
like, everybody wants to live the dream. Nobody wants to put work in for relationships.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna
Right.
get married,
It's work. It's work every
base
day.
of being married is putting in that work.
Right.
Yeah.
The base of being in love and having communication and relationships, all that shit take work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree
that's
with
the
that.
reason why our
Jay Black.
great-grandparents
Stay together forever.
Yeah.
Because
It took work.
leaving was not
And look,
an
here's the
option.
thing. 9 times out of 10, granddaddy, he probably cheated on your grandma, but guess what? They still worked it out. And they still worked it
But
out.
let me tell you what. But let me tell you. what
But they still made it work.
But you
It's
know,
that
there's a
simple.
dynamic that you guys have failed to mention with our grandparents, okay? Because most of the time, the women didn't work back then. So you kind of had to take what you could get from your man because he was providing and feeding you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Actually providing food for you, for real.
Right.
See, at that time, there was more employment opportunities on a wider scale.
For
It
men.
was.
You know what I'm saying?
It was.
They hadn't really.
You had, like,
gotten
factory jobs.
into that mass incarceration thing yet.
Mm-hmm.
And shutting
Right.
down the black
But it was
community.
worse because you're talking
Yeah.
about Jim Crow.
I mean,
and you
it
talking
might-
about.
It's worse depending on how you look at it,
Mm-hmm.
but where you had Jim Crow, that pushed us closer together.
Yeah.
So what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We gave up.
Yeah, 'cause we had to
All you had was
together.
black men too.
We gave
Yeah.
up our communities and our culture for integration.
That's facts.
So once we did that, we kind of helped them break down our family structure. You know what I'm saying? And everybody has been conditioned for certain thoughts or whatever, but
Yep.
mainly as far as this conversation goes, women have been conditioned, and not just women, but black women, because you don't see this with white women. Black women have been conditioned for that independent woman mind frame. that they
I'm a
don't
strong,
need
independent
man.
black
That's
woman.
Stupidity. That's fucking stupid.
Well, yeah.
Everybody need
There's
everybody.
nothing wrong with
Yeah.
independence. There's nothing wrong with strength and being self-reliant. But
You
know
still
what I'm
have to
saying?
make a
It's-
man feel like a man.
Man, not even that. We gotta continue our legacy as black people and make.
But that's the word, the
There you
key
go.
word right here
That's
is
facts.
legacy.
Yeah.
Building your legacy as a man, you should want to have that solid foundation of a family. You should want your kids to all have your last name.
Right.
You should want all your kids to live
Right.
together.
No, I mean,
That's
like-
just that's like the foundation.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta go for the right reason. Don't get married.
Right.
because I
But
want
that's
my-
up to y'all. That's y'all pick us.
But that
You
goes-
pick the right woman to
but that
start
goes
your
to my
foundation
point.
with.
I'm not about to just marry a woman because I want my kids to have my last name.
And that's why he's saying he's trying to wait.
Like,
Yeah.
I get married because okay, we done went through some
So
shit.
you skipped over a whole situation. There's three stages. There's courting, dating, there's engagement, and then there's marriage. You
Very
can't
much so.
skip this. You can't skip from 1 to 3.
that's the problem.
You date the guy and you decide whether or not. See, that's what I'm saying with time frames.
So, okay,
The dating
that's what I'm
time
saying.
frame
What's the
gotta
dating
go
time?
to
Why do I have
the
to get
to
time
the
frame?
engagement. The engagement time frame should only be long enough to plan the wedding. The only reason why we engage is because we getting married.
What's in a woman's mind? What's the dating time?
You
frame?
probably gonna
How
say
long do I gotta? How long?
dating wise.
How old are the people? Everybody that's in a different is okay. So say I'm 25,
27 for y'all. 25.
25, 27.
Yeah.
How long should you date before you think you're gonna get married? Like 2-3 years.
I mean,
I mean,
I think that's good,
that's
but I
good.
still don't feel like there should be a time limit on that. I feel
Right.
like
I do because I'm 27. I'm gonna have menopause in about 10 years.
She
I want to
breaking it
have
down.
like 3 kids.
so it's more selfish.
It's
It
not
is.
selfish.
It
That's
is.
nature. I'm physically
Hey.
not
You'll
gonna.
be more inclined to rush the process because you have those dates.
That's all
It's on
women.
the time clock.
Yeah.
But exactly, we are literally
I'm
on a
enjoying this
biological
conversation.
But
time
you'll be more
clock.
selfishly inclined.
Yeah.
To be like, I want to rush the situation.
I'm not
Even
rushing you, baby.
even if-
I can't have kids after a certain time, okay? Physically, I cannot bear
So
your
you
children.
just calling a spade a spade.
Exactly.
But-
Like, what are you talking about?
But I will say this. This is where everything becomes very problematic somewhat as well, because we're rushing somebody, like, for instance, Jay Black. You're like 26, right? 27. My brother, he's the same age. So Jay Black, we can say he's successful. He's doing all these great things, but he might feel like he's not ready. So you as a woman trying to force him.
That's why you're calling the shots as the man. Because
No.
I can't.
Here's the thing.
I can't be submissive to you and be led by you if you ain't ready.
There you go.
But then too,
Because here's the thing. Because at the end of the day, everything is gonna fall apart if he's not ready, financially, spiritually, everything. If he's not stable, you can't have a family. It's that simple.
That's true.
You can try to have a family, but it's gonna fail.
But see, one thing is proven: nobody's ever ready to get married.
Like 110%.
Nobody's
Yeah.
That's right.
Nobody's ever ready to have a child.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to value what it is in that person to push you to make those certain decisions.
That's very
Exactly.
true.
You know what I'm saying?
Because all that time you were dating, you could have been married, and the same thing could be happening, but you would be more inclined to work it out because you
That's
have
true.
agreement.
But then too, you all have to, as women, you all have to understand that you have to give that man that certain space to see if that's what he wants. Because then if he rushes into
If you didn't want it, baby, you shouldn't have hopped in the game in the first place.
But I'm saying, so okay, he rushes into a situation because you're talking about the time clock, and then he realizes that's not what he wants. Well, that could have been that grace period y'all was taking. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a situation I was in while I was courting a woman, and we acknowledged the fact that we both were in long relationships, and I communicated it to her that maybe we
You
should
didn't
take
want
some,
to
no,
be.
No, not didn't want to be, but because I know with long relationships, especially long bad relationships,
You gotta heal, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I explained that to her, and she felt as if I was playing with her. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because what are you doing?
No, because
He had to find himself. He had to
what I
find
was doing
himself.
was-
You need to do that alone.
No, you can't do that alone.
You don't see, people have this misconception that you have to be alone to grow.
No.
That's bullshit.
You need
can
other
grow
people
with
sometimes.
somebody. You can
Yeah.
better yourself with somebody.
But how do you know when
And
you
that's their
grow, you're
purpose.
not going to outgrow the person? And then you wasted their time.
No, you didn't waste that person's
Shit
time.
happens.
All
You
that
see,
stuff is all relative.
You could lose a mate and gain a bomb ass friend.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? So you might not have solidified a marriage with this person, but here you go, you've made a life connection with somebody, you know what I'm saying, that you've grown to love, and everybody needs somebody good in their corner. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with having somebody.
I guess maybe because, I'm a woman of a certain age.
Kim ain't playing, bro. Like,
I ain't got time
Right.
for all that. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said with you, Kim, I understand you coming with valid reasons. A lot of women are not coming with
they are
valid
not
reasons like that.
at all.
So I need to transition this